Oh, am I on?
We
am
are
I on?
live.
This camera? This one here?
No, that one.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
no, that
Oh,
one.
okay. Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Graybeard Podcast. And this evening, I hope you brought your appetites because my next guest makes food look really good. Welcome to the show, Alexa. What was your last name again?
Roberts.
It's right there. Roberts. Alexa Roberts with Alexa Food Tales on Instagram. And is it the same on TikTok?
Yes, Instagram
Alexa,
and TikTok.
Okay, Alexa Food Tales on both, and I'll have you do that again at the end. But go follow her right now. Well, wait till it's over. Pause it, and then go do it. Anyways.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very
Absolutely.
excited to be on this.
Absolutely. So you said you did some other podcasts before.
Yes, I did one. It was about a year ago. So
Okay.
This is only my second podcast, but
Okay.
I'm really excited
And you
for
felt
it.
like you had to be all professional and stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to be, chill, my
Just be yourself.
typical self.
Yeah, your usual self. However you want to represent yourself to the public.
I don't know if the public wants to see all that, but
Well, that might be not how you want to represent yourself. But yeah, okay, we've been chatting for a while, and like I just said, we're going to regurgitate some of that stuff. How long have you been shooting as a photographer?
oh my goodness. So I am 29 now, for those who don't know my age. I started taking photos like just for funsies since I was 12. I got my first point and shoot camera when the digital day started coming in. And then I got my first like actual professional camera when I was 18.
Nice.
So I started taking photos when I was in college, really, and I took some photos for like my sorority sisters, my friend's graduation, just things like that. And then when I got I worked for Disney, duh.
What?
I was a PhotoPass photographer. So
Really?
that was my first like professional photographer job. That was my very first job right out of college, and then I worked in
What a
marketing
gig.
jobs after that, where I continued photography. So I guess I've been doing it professionally for the last, my goodness, I can't do math, 7 years. 7 years I've been doing it professionally for, yeah.
Wow. Disney. I had no idea. What is it like working for Disney?
It was cool.
They don't watch. Don't worry. You can say things.
It was really cool. Being a part of the magic and like getting to see all the hidden behind the scenes and everything.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's very hard to move up in that company, and it was always my goal to stay with Disney. That's actually what brought me to Florida. I graduated from college in North Carolina.
Okay. Is that where you're originally from?
Originally from Pennsylvania.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
so I slowly made my
Yeah,
way
you
down
just kind of
south.
migrated down
And now
here.
I'm migrating back up north.
Are you really?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm staying in Jacksonville. Too much moving. We're done. We're done. But yeah, so my goal was to stay with Disney. That was what brought me to Florida. But literally, if you want to get in their corporate job, like I was networking with all these people on my days off. Like I was busting my ass trying to get a corporate job with them. And every single person I met said the same thing. They're like, it's about being at the right place at the right time. I'm like, okay, but like, what can I do to make my resume stand out? And they're like, well, I was at dinner one day and I met this person and they actually hired me. And I'm like, so you literally, it's based on luck pretty
Really?
much.
Like good old boy stuff.
Yeah, so as much as I wanted to stay with them, I just didn't want to wait because I knew so many people that were, 10 years later and they're still in the same department.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I want to use my degree and like actually work up. So I left them and then I started working in corporate marketing, and that's kind of what transitioned my journey.
Mm-hmm. And okay, so you said you had a degree. What did you go to? You went to college, right?
Yes,
What did you go to college for? That's a dumb question. If you have a degree, you don't get degrees from high school. I told you I'd do stuff like that.
I did graduate. I got a bachelor's in communication studies. It's a little different than general communications. It's more of a psychology degree. So learning how and why people communicate, which works
Really?
in marketing. So like learning how to manipulate people
Interesting.
into buying stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll need to talk after this offline.
Yeah.
About this. I need help. No. Well, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like I told you earlier, I don't care about money and all that stuff, and I preach that. But after talking to the guys last week, it was like, was it having a hard time focusing? Okay. Sorry. After talking to the guys last week, it's like there are expenses with this thing, and it would be nice if I could monetize a small amount. I'll never charge people for this, but like, but I don't know how else to do it. If I could figure out what it is that makes people like want to watch, and that's where you would come in with your expertise.
We'll do some brainstorming for sure.
Right on. Yeah, because I'm like the worst. Like I said, I'm by myself. And I'm old, so I don't like to really post a lot. I just like, if I have a podcast, I do some clips, and I'm like, all right, I'm good for the week, and then I'm done. I don't. How do you? Let me not get ahead of myself. Okay, so you went into a corporate marketing company. What was that? How long did you say you were there? A few years, or?
So it took me a long time to figure out what I wanted to do. So I worked for, they no longer exist. It was called Diamond Resorts. They actually got bought out by Hilton Grand Vacations.
Interesting.
I loved that job so much. Like to this day, if someone asked me what my favorite job was, it was that job. I had the coolest team. I oversaw the marketing for their Orlando hotels. I called myself like a hotel mom. They were like my kids, and like I kept checking in on them daily. I loved that job, but then COVID happened, and it didn't feel good trying to tell people to travel.
Yeah.
Obviously, like we did the right thing, and we weren't encouraging people to travel when it was the height of COVID. But at some point, it's like, okay, like we could travel but safely, and it was hard. And then Hilton Grand Vacations bought them out, and I was like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna have a job. Like maybe I should jump ship. And in hindsight, my job would have been fine, but I didn't know it at the time. So while everyone was making sourdough bread during COVID, I was like,
and starting podcasts.
Let me just switch careers and become a teacher.
Okay.
And so I was an English teacher for middle school. That lasted
Nice.
all of 7 months. Couldn't do it. Like, I have all the respect to the teachers because it is rough.
Is it the kids?
It's honestly the parents. I mean, like, yeah, the kids' behavior's bad, but like you'll contact the parents and they want nothing to do with the teachers.
Yeah, I think that's a big problem today.
Yeah. So,
not a lot of parental, involvement, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in school, if a teacher said, I'm going to call your mom, I'd be like, please don't do that. Like, I'll be good.
Yeah.
And now kids are like, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. They're not going to do anything.
Yeah, exactly. So that was rough. So then I went back into marketing. I worked for this one company, and I actually ended up overseeing the entire marketing department. And I was good at what I did. At least I think so. Maybe my coworkers didn't think so, but at least I thought I was good at what I did. But
what about the bosses? Did they think you did good?
So I reported directly to the CEO.
Okay.
So it was one of those fields that I guess just wasn't for me what I was marketing. And so
what kind of things were you marketing? Should we talk about it?
Is
it top secret?
So I took the teacher transition, and we taught classes to crane operators.
Okay.
But like we worked with like big companies, so I was marketing big things
like Caterpillar and stuff like that.
Yeah, along the lines of it.
I gotcha.
Big companies like that. So it was something that I didn't really enjoy going to work. It just wasn't the environment for me. It didn't fit my vibe.
Right.
Nothing against the company at all. It wasn't me. And it's also tough too because, like you'll have these big ideas and you go and ask the CEO like, hey, like, what do you think about this? And then it gets shut down and it's like, we could be doing so much, but I can't be creative. And it just, again, nothing against that company. It just was not my vibe.
Do you think it was like male dominated and
yeah,
a little bit? I mean, a little. I'm not saying. I'm not putting it on them. We don't even know what company it was, but I mean, it sounds like it was a male-dominated field, and there might have been a little bit of maybe some latent sexism in there, like sit down, Miss Patty.
Yeah, so there were women that worked there, which is also why I was like, oh, like this is so empowering, and that's why I took the job in the first place. And then afterwards, I was like, wait, even though there's like women in charge, it still doesn't really like.
Maybe they were there for just like HR purposes.
Yeah,
you have to have so many.
Yeah, so
that sucks.
Again, but like
I hate that.
Everything happens for a reason, and I feel like I got a lot out of it. Like I feel like I really learned to like be confident and like believe in myself. So I really do believe that everything happens for a reason, and on your journey of life, you're meant to be, and each little piece of your journey teaches you something. So I'm very grateful for that. But my husband and I decided to move up here because we were looking for a house, and Orlando was just rapidly growing to the point where it's like we don't even recognize where we live anymore.
Right.
And then my best friend moved up here, and then she convinced us to follow her eventually.
To Jack's?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so we bought our house up here in 2023, and I was no longer able to keep that job because they didn't want me to work remotely. And I was like, this is a sign, like this is perfect. We ended on good terms. Everything was great. And I was like, well, what do I do next?
Right.
So I started interviewing for other jobs, and I promised myself that I would not be unhappy at work anymore. Like, I want to enjoy going to work every day like I did when I worked for Diamond Resorts. And every company I interviewed, I got some offers, and like it didn't feel like a good fit.
Right.
And so finally my husband convinced me, like, you should open your own business. You should be a full-time photographer. And it was scary because, you know, like, you don't know what's going to happen. Like, I have a little bit of savings left because it all went towards the house that we bought.
Right.
And, like, you know,
especially you said 2023.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Yeah, so
it's not a good time to buy a house.
It was a huge risk, but I just had this weird feeling. I'm like, I got to do it.
Yeah.
So I tried a couple things at first. I was like, maybe I should be a wedding photographer. Maybe I'll do like family portraits. And then eventually I'm like, you know, there's not a lot of food photographers in Jax. I think that this is what I'm meant to do. And my friend Sarah, her Instagram's Hey904. Definitely recommend following her. She's great.
Shout out.
She was running the social media for this one restaurant, and she invited me to it to do like a photo shoot to help just like get experience and confidence. And it went really well. And she actually told me like a month or so later that she just didn't have the time anymore to run their social media and asked if I'd be willing to take over for her. So that was my very first social media client, all thanks to her. And that photo shoot was really all that I needed to get started. And so then I started booking photo shoots with people, and I would offer them to do a video. I really didn't have like any followers on Instagram at the time, but I'm like, you know, a video is a video. Like, you get a free video with a photo shoot. And then one day I had a restaurant reach out to me and be like, hey, like, we want you to do a video. I'm like, I'm taking photos, and like, you want me to do a video? Like, they're that good? We're like, that's why you're reaching out to me? Yeah. So that's kind of just like what started it. And so my business started in 2023. We're now in 2025. And it's just crazy to see how quickly everything's evolved. So I went from, hey, I'm going to be a food photographer, and I still do that, but the majority of my clients now are social media. I run social media for restaurants.
Nice.
And then I do a lot of the videos. So it's so cool to see how everything has changed and happened. And I'm so glad that I took that risk, and like, I'm so grateful for it. I really am.
Yeah, it's wild to think. I've tried to start a get my photography business up and running probably 5 times now over the last, since like 2016 to now. I mean, and over the last year, I've just kind of like, I've burned myself out. So like over the last year, I've just not really shot, a lot. I was telling you that earlier, but, oh God, I just lost I told you this happens. But yeah, the videos are kind of like where everything's going, like the little 30-second, 1-minute videos. People love, and this is why, again, I will apologize to you on live because I said you were a food reviewer on the last episode when I was like, hey, the guys were leaving, and I was like, yeah, I have a food reviewer coming on next week, and come to find out, I'm an idiot. You're not a food reviewer. You're a social media marketer. You're a photographer first and foremost. So that kind of like, I was like, well, that's even cooler. We can talk camera stuff until the cows come home, or get chopped up and put into burgers. That was a horrible punny joke. But yeah, I think it's definitely. I love what you're doing. Like I told you, I enjoy the style of videos that you're doing and the way you're doing it. What do you think? I wanted to get your opinion on. There is this trend that's going around TikTok right now, and it's like people going to a place, getting a plate, sitting in their car, and setting their phone up and like eating there in their car, and like I guess it's kind of like ASMR, right? Like, how do you feel about those types of things?
The car videos, so I did my very first car video actually a couple weeks ago with the baker's son.
Okay. Yeah, I
I'm
saw
not,
that.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't too sure how that would go because I didn't realize that there's nowhere to sit in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, shit, I
gotta
gotta film
do
this video. And I was like, I came hungry. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to wait till I get home.
Right.
So I was like, I'll film it in my car.
Yeah.
And it ended up getting, I think, like over 20,000 views on TikTok.
Right.
Lots of positivity. I actually don't think I saw a single negative comment.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, oh my goodness, I love that place so much.
Yeah.
Or like, people are like, I'm going to go there tomorrow. This looks so good. And so, I mean, those
Maybe it'll
videos
become a new thing for you.
it's starting to be a trend. I do think that every creator is different, but I have seen there's like people that'll get very intense. Like they'll bring their own wooden board to put all these desserts on.
Yeah, like make a what do you call it? Charcuterie.
Yeah, like a charcuterie with desserts, and like I'm not gonna be doing all that. I'll
Yeah.
just be eating out of the takeout containers. But yeah, I don't know if it's the lighting or what. Like car videos are just doing really well now.
Yeah. That's why I say it's a trend. I noticed that you did do that, and I'm not. There's no shade on it. It's just curious to me
Yeah,
because I see
it's interesting.
more and more of them, especially with crispy chicken, and it's like,
Oh yeah.
and then they got the microphone right next to their mouth, and I can't stand to hear people chew. So it's like, I don't want to hear you chew, bro. Like,
Yeah. I'm a really messy eater, and so many people are like, do you even eat the food? I never see you eating on camera. It's like, I do. I just edit all that out because I don't enjoy seeing that.
right.
So I don't know if anyone else would enjoy seeing
Yeah.
that. So
now I get the fact that there's nowhere to sit inside, and you had to go to your car, and also going to the event hungry. I get that. Like, I don't want to wait. Especially when your car smells of fresh baked goods. It's like, come on, bro. I'm about to eat this stuff. Might as well film it.
exactly.
But I do like when I see you inside of a restaurant sitting, and you get to see the ambiance of the restaurant, the table, the lighting, the everything, and it's nice. I like that, and I kind of like how you edit the eating parts out. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'll look at it and I'm like, nah, like this is not cute. No one needs
Yeah.
to see this.
Well, to do the thing, you have to kind of be mic'd up so you can talk about it. When you do go into a place, this has always been one of my biggest problems because I kind of told you, like, if I go on a trip or I do something, I vlog a little bit, but like talking and to myself, basically to a camera in public, has always been one of those things that I have just not yet. I haven't crossed over. Like my girlfriend and I, when we were in North Carolina, we went to some just awesome restaurant. It was a bake shop and restaurant and all this other stuff, and the food was great. But I filmed a lot inside there, but we didn't talk at all. I just kind of showed it and did like a little bit of a voiceover a little bit later on. That's the only way I can really do it. But how do you kind of get over that portion of it? Like when you're sitting in there and there's other people in there.
Honestly, exposure therapy, 100%.
Just doing it?
Yeah. When I first started, I will say, like, thankfully, because when I first started, I did a couple restaurants for free, like, just to keep my portfolio big.
Right.
And those free shoots, I definitely needed to do that at first. And I still, to this day, I'm like, man, like, I need to go back and, like, give them another photo shoot just because I didn't have the confidence. And I'm like, well, there's people dining in here. I don't want to, like, bust out my flash and all this lighting. And, like, the photos could have came out better if I used the lighting, but I was too scared to. And so I realized, like, okay, like, I had an agreement with the owner. The restaurant knows that I'm coming in. Like, I got to do it. And so I saw it more so as, like, I am here to help the restaurant.
Right.
Like, I don't care what other people think. I'm here helping the restaurant. This is between me and the owner,
It's
not
business.
me and the customers. Exactly. And so once I kind of had that mindset, then I stopped caring. And it's crazy because I feel like if me 5 years ago, who was afraid to even go out to eat by herself, knew that I now am at a restaurant with all these lights and like just making a big scene, like she'd be like, oh my gosh, really? I'm doing that now?
Right.
yeah, it's just honestly exposure therapy and
Yeah.
like just understanding like I'm here to help the restaurant. Like I'm going to be doing them a favor. And like there was this one time so I was at this one place and I was filming a video and a girl made a comment to the bartender and I heard it and she's like, "Oh, we have an influencer in here." Filming for Instagram, I see. And like she was very rude and I didn't say anything. And then the video did really well, brought a lot of
Right.
business in. And then I saw,
Too bad you didn't capture that on video.
well, then she left a comment on the video like, "OMG, I saw you filming."
Oh,
And I'm like,
nice.
but you know, and that's kind of the way that I see it. Like, sure, it does look cringy. And like, honestly, like I understand the whole influencers and the wild thing.
Yeah.
But at the end
But
of
you're
the day,
working. You're not just
Exactly.
influencing. You're not like out here
Exactly.
trying to influence people. There's a difference. Like those people that hold stuff up and they're like,
Exactly. And I never want to be like that. And I just, my
this
goal.
thing.
Yes.
What is that? Like I can't see. It's gonna focus. Just hold it up in front of your face.
Food is like different, more different than anything else. Though,
Yeah, you're
you
just
know
trying
what
to
I
get
mean?
people to go eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that hits a sense that you can only relate with if you try it out. You
Right.
know what I mean? So
Yeah, and you're to that point. You're kind of like playing to everyone else's other senses. They can't smell it. They can't taste it right then in the video, but they can look at the joy in your face when you're after you're eating it. When you edit that part out, but you know, and then they can see all the other things that they see, and you know, sight and sound that's all you have, and you're making the most of it. Now, do you like do they ever like, is it like one of those things where you like timing, you know, like say when's your slowest times and I'll come in at that time?
Yes, because at the end of the day, while yes, I do understand that I'm there, you know, and try not to think about the customers dining in, I do want to make sure that I'm not fully
Like a
disturbing
hindrance.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so anytime I arrange a collaboration with a restaurant, I'll tell them like, you know, when is your slowest periods? That way I could come in and not disturb patrons, and I'll always try and pick a table like off in the corner, not front and center of the restaurant. So I do try and make sure that I'm not really disrupting the customers, and I don't film customers either. Like I know there's
Yeah.
some people that'll like show the whole restaurant. I don't really like to do that just
Right.
because I don't want to film people while they're eating,
Yeah,
especially
it's
if they
kinda
don't
rude.
consent to that.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like if you did, you'd probably have to go, and anybody that it's just another headache. Like,
Exactly.
do you mind being in this video? If not, I'm gonna have to edit you out. Like what? You know, then I need you to sign this contract. No, pass. Just put me in a corner where there's no one behind me and I can film. You said you're married. What does your husband think about all this? Is he? I mean, I'm sure he's supportive.
Oh, he's so supportive.
Does
and
he come be your cameraman sometimes when you're doing a video?
Occasionally,
Yeah?
he is very introverted.
Okay.
So we're like, I consider myself an introverted extrovert. Like I have my moments, and then I need to recharge my batteries. But he's like fully introverted,
Okay.
so he'll occasionally come out. He doesn't like to be on camera, which is why he's not in my videos.
Right,
and I
right,
totally
right.
respect that.
Of course.
I fully understand. But he loves food, so whenever I bring leftovers home, he's so
Of course,
excited.
of course.
So
What
he gets the husband perks.
Oh, there you go. What guy would not be happy about that? I know. The girls I live with, all of them, they're all the leftover queens. Like I'll come home from work and there's new leftovers, you know. So it's like, oh, what do I get to eat today, you know? But they'll break my hand off if I eat their food. It's not the same dynamic.
Exactly.
You want him to eat those leftovers. I'm sure you bring him extra plates and stuff too. Well, that's good. That's good that he supports you in that way. It's nice sometimes, I think, to have like, well, it's good to have somebody that like actually does support you and doesn't like belittle you. I can't believe you're trying to do this, but you know, the fact that he's supportive of you, and it's nice to sometimes have an extra pair of hands,
Oh yeah.
you know, so you can like not have to always use a tripod. Maybe you can get some different shots and things of that nature. So when you're doing like what I saw from you, this is how I met you on the internet, was your, you know, like the videos of you going in and doing the shots inside the restaurants and stuff like that. But you're doing that, plus you're actually shooting food, right? So you're taking photos of the food, and how do you do it? You do it before or after, like with that?
So when I do the collaboration videos, it really it definitely is more difficult to do that with a photo shoot. Sometimes I'll do just the videos. It really depends on what the restaurant's looking for. But when I do the food photo shoots with the videos, I'll start with the videos before the food comes out, get all the behind the scenes, like B-roll of the restaurant. And then I'll take the photos, and it depends. So if I'm doing a cheese pull, for instance, I'll do the video first of the cheese pull. I'll stop while like the cheese is still stretchy, and then I'll take the photo. So there's a lot that goes into it. There's like so much planning, and like, okay, how's this food gonna look? Would it be better to photograph it first or video it first? So there's definitely a lot of switching back and forth.
Yeah, that was kind of like my next question is like, how do you plan out a shoot? Like when somebody contacts you, do you start getting ideas in your head? You're like, this is what I want to do, and then well, I'll let you tell me. Just like, how do you plan it out?
Sure. So they give me a list of food items that they need photographed.
Okay.
And then I'll ask them to. Some people just want the food photographed. Some want action shots of their bartenders, action shots of the chef's plating, midst of cooking, like shots of the whole restaurant. So it really just depends what the restaurant's looking for. And then I will literally create an entire spreadsheet of the shots.
Wow.
So we plan fully in advance. I actually took a course by this one gentleman that's based in the UK, and or not the UK. Oh my gosh, Ukraine. It's been a while since I took the course, but I actually learned that from him, and doing that, I feel like has made me look more professional and make my services look more enhanced. And it also just helps keep everyone on the same page, because you could say, okay, these are the food items I'm going to photograph, but it's so much easier for the restaurant and the chefs to know, like, these are the exact shots that I'm going to be doing. And then I even do a timeline from this time to this time I set up, this time to this time I'll be doing this, so that way the chefs know when to prepare the food and that it comes out fresh and hot, and that way they're not waiting around for me, or I'm not waiting for them. So it's worked out so much better by doing that.
It sounds very because I imagine there's a lot of your clients, I don't know if they know what to even look for in someone that does what you do. So the fact that you present them with all this extra information is probably extremely helpful, because they're like, oh, well, we had no idea. They probably just imagine somebody's going to come in and just take pictures with a camera.
Exactly.
I have no idea. Maybe a flash. But the fact that you give them almost like an outline, like a book report, like an outline for a book report with graphs and pictures, and like, this is how it's going to happen. I imagine that's very helpful to them. And and word of mouth spreads fast. So if you're like super professional on your game and you're doing everything, and it's like you're doing a good job, they're going to recommend you to their buddies.
Yeah. And that's my goal. I mean, at the end of the day, like, sure, I'm a business, I'm here to make money, but I want my clients to be happy, and 100%. I want them to feel comfortable with using me, and I want them to book me again and tell their friends. And I just love doing what I do, and I love seeing restaurants say, oh my goodness, like, I love your photos, they helped me bring in new clients and new customers, and just, it makes me really happy to see that.
Well, as a photographer, it's always nice when you work with someone and then you see their, like, a photo that you took is now their profile picture.
Yes.
So with you, I imagine it's even more, because now it's like in their menus, it's in their commercials. Do people even make commercials anymore? I don't know.
Social media.
Yeah.
Reels,
it's on their reel. They're sharing your reels. They're using your footage, your photos, and it's got to feel good, because we take pride in our what we do as photographers, and it's, like I said, it's not one of those things. It's like, it's a business, but this is what I love to do.
Exactly.
And that shines through. So that's really cool. There was a question I was going to ask you, and I've lost it now, but
what's your favorite restaurant you've done in Jacksonville so far?
Oh my goodness.
I told you he picks up the slack.
I had a feeling y'all were going to ask that. See,
you can't really do that, because now she's going to alienate people.
No, it's okay though. She can have an opinion, right? She's human.
It's so hard to have.
Top 5.
Okay. Yes,
what's your favorite kind of food? How about that? Let's start with that.
It changes all the time.
Oh, okay.
It really does. So I will say, last night I went to Umami Curry. I don't know if y'all have been there. It's in Mandarin.
I don't get out much.
Oh my goodness, it's so good. So that is my favorite place to go when it is cold or rainy outside.
Really?
Their curry ramen is so good.
It's in Mandarin. It's called
umami curry.
Okay.
It is so good. The owners are so sweet. It's
My
like,
girls love ramen, so.
oh my goodness, y'all are gonna love it. Like their curry ramen is so good that every time I go there, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna branch out, and I always end up getting that because their curry ramen literally just like makes you feel warm and happy inside, and like it's the absolute best. And they have a current like special menu item. They have the big fluffy Japanese pancakes.
Ooh.
I tried it last night. That was my first time ever having the Japanese pancakes. They were so good.
What time do they close?
I think they close at 9.
Dang it!
So, but tomorrow, you guys could go tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Well, and my mom lives in Mandarin, so that I grew up out there.
Okay.
None of that was there when I grew up there. None of it.
Just a bunch of trees.
Yeah, well, when I was a kid, San Jose, there was nothing but trees. It was a 2-lane road, and literally, just trees. And I know a lot of people hate to hear that, but that's it. Facts, bro.
Exactly.
I ride my
Everything's-
bike on a dirt road in Mandarin. Imagine that.
Yeah, it's definitely a little built up now.
Yeah.
I wasn't here since the beginning, but I can imagine.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I was not unhappy to leave that area. Like I said, living out there, it's great. Everything is so awesome out there, and there's all these really cool spots and stuff out there now. But it's just like the traffic, bro. It's almost like I thought. Well, Blanding is kind of like, because Mandarin is like from 295 to basically Loretto, road. It's like that's Mandarin. Anything beyond that is something else. But yeah, it's just like it's insane how many people are packed into that little area.
Yeah.
Like I hate driving around there.
To me, it's still not as bad as Orlando.
Oh no.
I feel like anytime I go back there to visit, I'm like, I'm never complaining
When
about
did you
the
live in
traffic.
Orlando? Like, was that during COVID?
Yes. So
Okay.
I lived there from 2017 to 2023. So I saw like the whole
The boom,
explosion
yeah.
after COVID.
Well, everybody moved here in Florida. Everybody from other states that were like, they weren't down with being the lockdown and stuff, and we were kind of like open a little bit more, and it just kind of like, everybody moved down here. And now it's like, and they thought, let's go to Orlando because it's the happiest place on earth, supposedly. I can't stand. I don't have any hate for Disney. They helped raise my kids, but like I can't do theme parks. I can't. Like, if you're a season pass holder, God bless your heart. I can't. Like you said, your husband's an introvert. Like, I'm definitely one. I don't like big crowds. I don't like going to places where there's too many people. And, like, those places are so huge.
Yeah.
And you got to walk everywhere. Like, it's like you're just dead on your feet by the end of the day. You spend 10 hours out there and not realize, like a time warp.
Yeah. I definitely, when I lived there, I had the season passes for both parks, but I'd only go maybe once a month. I was like, I'm going to go every single weekend. And it's like, at that point, I was forcing myself to go because I paid for the pass.
Right.
And so I liked it once I got to the parks. It's just getting to the parks. Like, by the time, like, you park and then you have to walk all the way up to the gate and, like, the traffic. And so a lot of times, like, just to go to the park for an hour, you're already sinking, like, 3 hours just getting there.
Right. Yeah.
Look at this up here, Jim. Here you go.
Florida's population grew 8.24% between July 1st, 2020 and July 1st, 2024.
Wow.
Representing an increase of approximately 1.8 million residents.
Yeah.
Damn.
4 years. Almost 2 million people moved here.
Yeah. I guess not everybody was upset with Governor Ron DeSantis.
No.
He's like, fuck it, leave it open. Let's open it all.
Yeah. I feel like one of those old people now. I'm like, back in my day, but before everyone moved to Orlando.
Where were you?
Get off my lawn.
Pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID, Orlando was a magical place for the people that lived there. Not just because of the theme parks, but like downtown was popping and like things were expensive in the theme park bubble.
Yeah.
But if you go slightly outside of the theme park bubble, there's all these amazing restaurants. Everything's super affordable because everyone was making no money because everyone it's a hospitality town. Then all these people moved in, drove up the prices, and I'm not even kidding. This one restaurant that I would go to at least once a week for happy hour, overnight, their Taco Tuesday deal, it was all you could eat tacos for $15, $15 to $25 overnight.
Jeez.
So like everything got expensive.
Supply and demand.
Yeah, and then a lot of businesses started closing. Our apartment, like, we got our renewal letter because we wanted to live there for one more year before buying a house. We're like, no, like,
They
we're
jacked it
moving
up.
now. Yeah, and it was.
I can't
just,
even
like,
imagine what rent is down there.
It's insane, and it's like, you know, like we're like, we're not going to move to rent for another year. We're just going to buy a house. We'll move. But yeah, I miss the old Orlando. It had so much charm.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever ventured around that area, like just, you know, not inside the Kissimmee area. I guess that's where all the theme parks
Yeah.
are at. But like, I mean, we did find some other places that were not, that I think were like connected to Disney. Like there was a place called the Fun Spot.
Oh yeah,
We
yeah.
loved that place. Like we actually had more fun there than we did at Disney World.
Well, that's why it's called the Fun Spot.
Right. I was like, this sounds like something on like Supernatural. I don't know if you ever watched that show with Sam and Dean. They went to a place called the Fun Spot, and it was like people were dying there. I was like, are you sure we should be in here? You know, but yeah, no, like I said, I've never really thought about like living there. I couldn't imagine living in a place where there's, I never even, honestly, when we would go to the theme parks, it's almost like you're like, do people actually live around here? Like or do they just live outside and commute in? I imagine that was probably, sorry, I don't mean to keep talking about Disney
Oh
World.
no,
It's
it's
very,
okay.
it's just one of those things. I'm just like, it's like, I don't have questions about it. I don't know, you know?
No, it's definitely very different. So, like, there's like a special cast parking area. You enter. There's like what's called backstage. So you enter like behind the scenes essentially, and there's like, you know, roads that pretty much just cast members take. Like you could take them.
Are
as
there
a
like a bunch of
civilian.
hidden doorways and compartments that we don't know about? Or you're not allowed to talk about that?
No, I could talk about that, but
You always you hear about it, but you don't, like, I've never seen it.
yeah. So they just built, well, not kind of recently, maybe like 5 years ago, they built an apartment complex for like the new CPs, like the interns. I think that if you're a cast member, you could live there. I don't know. Don't fact check me on that.
Yeah.
But they also did have apartments right next to Magic Kingdom. Like you could essentially walk, but it was to like the backstage area
Yeah.
of Magic Kingdom.
Well,
so,
like, I don't know if you've ever heard any, like, there's like stories about people, like, there's like all these underground tunnels underneath Disney World, and like, you know, maybe there's like a thing that looks like a rock, and if you push it, I mean, you know, whatever, like there's like some kind of code that you put in, and you can go in, and you're like down in it just seemed very like, I was like, this is kind of cool and kind of creepy at the same time.
So the Magic Kingdom and Epcot, this is all public information, so I
Okay.
could talk about it.
I've never looked into it, so you're
Yeah.
you're
It's the
like
catacombs.
telling me some new stuff here.
So Magic Kingdom and Epcot, they do have an underground with tunnels that you could walk through. Magic Kingdom did it to essentially preserve the magic because there's all the different lands. So
Right.
they don't want like someone in a Fantasyland costume in Tomorrowland because that
Okay.
ruins the magic. So it helps the cast members get to different areas of the park without being seen in the wrong costumes. And then Epcot, they also have it. I didn't really use them that much, just because you don't really need to preserve the magic there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like everyone kind of wears the same costumes, so you're allowed to walk above ground there.
Okay.
There were occasionally, sometimes, especially PhotoPass, they'd have what they called Pargos. They were essentially golf carts. They drive those underground. Like it would help us get from point A to point B easier.
Yeah.
But
How
most of
creepy
the
is
time
it in
we'd
those
walk.
tunnels?
It's a little creepy. It's not terrible. It's not terrible.
I'm just imagining like the
Do you hear any screams down there?
the cylinder like in Austin Powers where he was trying to turn around his little golf cart thing. It's like this giant long hallway.
100-point turn.
The only thing I didn't like, so they had break rooms down there. Depending if I was working in Future World or the World Showcase, I'd have to use those break rooms. They didn't have any windows, so it's like you're on lunch and there's nothing to look at.
Ugh.
There's no windows. You're
Like you can't put
underground.
like a screen up, you know, like fake outside.
I know. So that was the only like thing. I was like, I just want to be able to look outside and eat my
Aw.
lunch. But it was cool. I mean, like
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for the experience that I got to be there and everything. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's really neat. And yeah, I'm sure, like you said, that I love that you were like, this is all online, bro. You could just look it up.
No,
I've never done the due diligence,
yeah.
but I've always questioned it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like one of those like slight conspiracy theories that I have.
I will say there's I saw this one TikTok probably a year ago. This one guy was like, "Yeah, I worked at Disney. Here's all the secrets." And if you are working frontline, there's not really anything that you're not allowed to say because they know how many people work there. So anything that they tell you is public knowledge. There's not like
Right.
any NDAs or anything. Like you have to be like a top executive.
Yeah.
Like any news that they shared with us, they wouldn't share until it was already like there was a press release and public information.
Did they have you guys
anyways.
sign NDAs?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I think there's just too many like frontline employees for them to be able to control all that.
Yeah. Cool. So what are your top 5? No, and in no distinct order either. Not like
Yes.
1's the best, 5's the best. It doesn't matter. Just 5 restaurants that you really enjoyed eating at.
Umami curry. One of them I feel like is kind of a little biased because they're one of my clients, but I genuinely love this business. It's called Tepiolat Cerveceria.
Where's that at?
It is in East San Marco off
Okay.
of Phillips Highway. I love it there. Like the owner is so cool, the staff is so cool. It's always just such a vibe. They have Mexican street food and like the bartenders are always so nice. The owner does all these events and like tries to help out charities once a month.
Oh, wow.
And they are good people. Anytime I'm like, I just want some tacos and somewhere to chill. Like if I don't want to be at home and just want to go out and do something, that is my place to go. I feel like even though they're my client, I give a lot of money that they pay me back to them. Like
They're like, we're gonna get it back.
yeah,
It's fine.
they're just every single person working there and the owner. They're all just such great people, and I just love going there. So that's 2. Trying to think. Oh my goodness, there's so many restaurants. I've only been there once, but I've been dying to go back. It's called Catullo's.
Okay.
It's an Italian restaurant. They make their pasta homemade.
Really?
Oh my gosh, yes. There was this pear, I forget what kind of pasta, but it was so good, and that's all I've been thinking about. And I told my husband, I'm like, can we please go back
Yeah,
soon?
when someone's talking about food and they close their eyes like that, I'm like,
It's so good.
you're remembering
so
how
good.
good it was, and you're
Yes.
No,
Yes.
that so.
Love that
And where is
place.
that place again?
So they have one, I want to say San Pablo. I haven't been to that location, but they also have another location, Nocatee.
Okay.
But I did hear they don't do reservations. I went on like a Tuesday and it was fine.
So, like,
the
just
Nocatee
first come,
location.
first serve?
Yeah. But I did hear that their San Pablo location usually has a line out the door, so you got to get there like when they open. But
Pass on that, son. I'll have to maybe DoorDash that. They're probably not on DoorDash.
I'm not too sure. But yeah, the pasta's so good. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. So
I mean, that's one of those things I have yet to do. Is like you see it all the time where there's like these places that like people just line up and they're like waiting. I'm like, I don't think I could do that. Like, you know, it reminds me of like Seinfeld. Do you ever watch Seinfeld?
Yes,
you know,
I love
the
that
soup
show.
guy,
Oh my
Soup
gosh, yes,
Nazi.
no soup for
the
you.
soup Nazi. Yeah, yeah. And people would line up around the block.
Yeah.
And then get in there, and he's like, too slow, no soup for you. You know, I'm like, I don't want to be that guy because I am that guy. I need to look at the damn menu and like, I have to think maybe I'll have and especially when you go to a new place, like how do you decide what to get? There's so many things and you're just like, I want to try everything. You got like a sampler platter, you know?
I will say the employees are not like the ones from Seinfeld's. They're very
No, I imagine
helpful
not.
because
imagine
I
not.
had no idea what to get when I was there, and they were all so great and so helpful.
So they helped you figure out.
They absolutely help you come to a decision because all their pastas are homemade and they're like all these fun little flavors, and so
Yeah.
it's like I don't know what to get.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I love food. I'm definitely a foodie. I have actually thought. I've had thoughts. I've had thoughts about a lot of different businesses and things I could do for myself. But like, definitely like food reviews. You know, like writing a blog, doing a food review blog, and like starting that.
You
help
should.
with
I
that,
just,
too.
huh?
I'll help you with that too.
For sure. But like, and then doing videos and stuff like kind of like what you're doing. I don't know if I'd want to do all of that, you know, like the videos and the photography. Does it ever get like cumbersome to where it's like they want the video and photos, and you're like, like you said, you kind of like, if you're doing a cheese pull, you're like, you bit it already, and it's like, I gotta stop and shoot, and it's like, does it like get to where it's like, I don't know if I want to do both?
Sometimes, but at the same time, my goal is to help the restaurants, and even if it does get like super intense, I still make sure to do what the restaurants asked for. I will say, I do get a lot of DMs asking me to come to their restaurants. There's only so many I could do in a month. Yeah, I'm not trying to be like, so many people DM me.
No, that means you're doing good.
But yeah, it has gotten to the point where I'm like, oh my goodness, like, sorry, like, I'll message you next month. Like, I'm full right now.
Yeah.
Because, then I have my social media clients. That's what takes up most of my time.
Oh, 100%.
And then having to schedule photo shoots around it, then these videos. So a lot of it is really just like planning my calendar properly. And yeah, like I have to schedule everything in my calendar the second that plans are made. Otherwise, if it's not my calendar, it's long forgotten.
Well, thank you for scheduling us in your calendar.
Thank you for having me. I was so excited. I've been following y'all for a while, and I was like, oh my gosh, I get to be on a podcast again.
Yeah. Like I said, it's definitely something that I've thought about doing myself. I love food, and like, I know that there's a billion places out here in Jacksonville area that I've just never been to, and but it's one of those things that like I don't. You see them doing it, and you're like, how are you not like 1,000,000 pounds? Because I would be 1,000,000 pounds. I would be like, I know you're supposed to eat just little bites, and then like bring the rest for leftovers if you're having like 4 different plates or whatever. But I'm just like, I couldn't do it. I would eat the whole damn thing. I'm one of those guys that like when I see the challenges at a restaurant, like eat this 15-pound burrito and you get like a t-shirt. I'm like, I'm going to try to eat it, the whole thing.
I will say it is one of those things. At first, I was like, "Oh, I'm eating everything," and then after a while, it's like, "Okay, like I'm learning." Down. Yeah. Plus, I work out at Base Camp Fitness. I love that gym. Oh my goodness, they have like this. It's like one of those programs where like you go in, there's the instructor with the microphone yelling at you,
wow.
and like that also helps a lot. Keeping
motivate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, that's, I guess if you work out hard enough, you can eat whatever the hell you want, right?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, hey, I went to the gym this morning. Let me go ahead and just eat everything now.
Yeah. No, I mean, I want to get to that point. I used to be, but, when you get to be about my age, you start, your metabolism slows down a bit, the loss of testosterone, and you're like, oh, no, I have to plan my meals very carefully and before I explode. But I'm starting to work out again, and hopefully I can get back to eating.
Yeah.
Eating lots. So if you ever want like an extra pair of hands, I would gladly come and for just table scraps.
Absolutely.
Like he said.
Pair of hands? You mean pair of teeth or something?
Yeah, you need a extra pair of teeth to eat the food with, just go, How is that? That just reminded me, like, is the minute you take a bite of a piece of food, the servers are coming, how is it? Everything okay? You're like, mm-hmm.
Every time, never fails.
Yeah. Why? Why, guys? Why? Just give me like a minute, clear my mouth, and then when you see me taking a sip, then come and ask. I don't understand that piece at all. So we got, I think we did 3 out of 5.
Yes.
So let's run them again.
Umami curry.
Umami curry.
Teppies. And Cthulhu's.
Why was I thinking Cthulhu? Isn't that like Greek god or something? I don't know. Cthulhu. Okay, and then?
And then for brunch, my favorite place ever is Say So Sweets.
Okay.
So it's a Hawaiian Filipino place.
Oh.
The owner's name is Flo. She is the sweetest. Every time I'm there and she's working, she like gives me a big hug and just like it feels like I'm going to visit my aunt. And then she always is like, "Did you get enough to eat?" And like she's the sweetest. And the food's always so good.
Now where is that one?
It is off of Beach Boulevard. I forget exactly which area, but it's on beach, but not like at the beach, like a little further down.
Say So Sweets.
Yes. She also owns Marina's Grinds. I have not been to that one, but it's like more of a breakfast restaurant. Okay. Say So Sweets is like a bakery, and then they have a couple brunch items.
Nice.
But the chicken and waffles, oh my goodness. So it's ube waffles.
What is the difference?
Ube, it's like a purple yam. So the taste is like very similar, but a little bit different. But
Interesting.
they're
He's
purple
gonna Google
waffles.
it.
Oh yes, they're
Like
beautiful.
UBE.
They're
I'm
this
an
very nice
uncultured
purple color.
Vignette over here. I don't know.
But the chicken, I have
Oh,
no
wow.
idea what she does to the chicken. It is the best chicken I have ever had. Like, hands down, the best chicken and waffles I've ever had in my entire life.
Really?
Every time I go there, that's what I have to get.
Yeah.
This one's got pineapples on it, I think.
That's what it looks like.
That looks good.
Dang.
Whole lot better than a blue waffle.
What is an ube though? What? I missed that. I'll have to watch back the playback.
I had to do a double take. I was like,
Well, I didn't know if it was like a difference between ube and Belgian waffle, and then you got whatever the regular
So-
Waffle House waffle is.
so it's like a, I guess, Belgian style waffle, but the purple comes from ube, which is a purple yam.
Okay, that's exactly what you just said, and I told you on my brain.
No, that's okay.
Sweet and nutty, just like me. I'm sweet and I'm nutty. It's a little bit off my rocker.
But yeah, I love that place so much. And then the last one would be for pizza, Pie 95.
Pie 95.
They're in the Riverside
Nice
area.
play on
That's
words.
a good name right there.
I know.
Yeah.
Where are you at? I'm over at Pie 95. It's off I 95.
And Riverside.
So good. The pizza's wood fired, and I told you I'm originally from Pennsylvania, so I was very close to New York, and we had like our own version of pizza up there. So like I'm very particular when it comes to pizza, and their pizza, oh my goodness, every single time.
Does it slap?
It
That's what the
slaps.
kids say these
It
days.
slaps. Their Bianca's my favorite. It comes with this lemon
my daughter's
wedge.
name.
Oh, it's your sign to go get
I
it.
know.
It comes with this lemon wedge, and you squeeze the lemon juice on
Really?
it. It's so good.
Interesting. See, what I would love to see, and we had something kind of like it, but like I love Chicago style deep dish. Love it. I mean, like when I was married, we would go up there every year. She's from Chicago, so we would go there, and like was it Gino's is what we would go. I think it's closed now. I'm not sure. But anyways, it was like the big Italian place, pizza place. They used to actually have like a frozen deal. They started doing Gino's frozen pizzas, and it was deep dish frozen pizzas. Not the same, but I fell in love with it there. I was like, there's sauce on top of the cheese. Like, why? What is this?
Have you been to Mama's Pizza?
Mm-mm.
Oh my goodness, they have a really, really good Chicago deep dish.
Really? You know what? I've seen them. I've seen like either some kind of advertisement somewhere, whether it was a TikTok or Instagram, but I've seen it. I've just not been there yet.
You
Where
should definitely
is
go
that one
there.
at again? Is that over in Riverside too?
No, that one's off of Bay Meadows.
Oh,
like
okay.
Bay Meadows 95.
Yeah.
That one, yeah, their pizza's so good. I've never had like true Chicago. Yes, that's Pie 95.
Pie 95. Yeah, I was looking at them. They look.
But when I worked at Disney, my roommate was from Chicago, and we would always go to Giordano's because I think that they have a Chicago location, but also one in Orlando. And so I've never had like pizza in Chicago,
Yeah.
but I had Giordano's, which apparently, according to her, is similar, and Mama's is very similar
Yeah.
to that. So
Well,
I'd
like,
say that theirs is like pretty authentic.
The way I was told was like Gino's was where you go for deep dish, and then Giordano's was like the thin crust,
Okay.
and it was like they cut it in little squares and stuff. Is this Mama's?
Yep, that's Mama's. Yeah, they have a Dubai chocolate pizza. It's so good.
Dubai chocolate.
Yeah, it's
What
nice
is that
and
about?
crunchy.
What is inside those things? That green stuff. What is that?
That's
Pistachio?
Yeah,
A
pistachio.
pistachio.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good. It's nice. It's got like some crunch in it. Oh my
I've heard
gosh, it's
mixed
so good.
reviews. I've heard people say, "Oh, look, it's a heart." Aw. I've heard squirrel. I've heard people say, "Oh my God, it's the
got
best
wings?
thing I've ever eaten," and then there's some people who are like, "It's chocolate, bro." Well, how do you feel about
I'm a
it?
huge fan of pistachio. I get that, Dubai chocolate, I feel like everyone's doing it now, but I hate to be one of those like following with the trend, but I love
If you like
Dubai
it, then you
chocolate.
like
I love
it.
I've always loved pistachio, and so like pistachio and chocolate together is the best thing. Oh my gosh, yeah, their food's so good.
They showed the
deep
deep
dish.
dish.
Hold up. Oh my.
But yeah, for a deep dish, definitely go
Oh, they
there.
got Phillies too. I'm a Philly cheesesteak connoisseur.
Oh yeah, they have Philly cheesesteaks. They have a lot of
Yeah.
stuff there.
Sorry, my mouth is watering right now. I'm telling you, I will eat myself until I'm a glutton. I will eat until I
Look at that.
die.
Well,
that
that's
cheese
the
pull
place
right
to
there.
go because they
Oh,
have
yeah, there
so
it
many
is.
options. And I've tried a good amount of their food, and I honestly, there's nothing that I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't get that. Like, I would get everything there. It's so good.
How many restaurants have you worked with? Like, would you say? Can you even? I don't mean to make you do math. Just take a ballpark.
Probably close to 100 at this point.
Wow. So you're kind of like an authority on food here in Jacksonville. A little bit.
I like to be objective. I think that's my biggest thing. Like, I don't ever want to consider myself like a food critic.
Uh-huh.
I want to spread the word about local businesses.
Yeah.
And I always I understand my palate's different than other people's
Yeah.
palates. Like, for example, I do not like sweet coffee. If you ever see me drinking sweet coffee, I'm going to treat it like a milkshake. Like, I'm going to
Okay.
have it for like,
It needs
you
to
know,
be cold. And,
exactly. Like, I can't do
Yeah. No sugar, just
exactly. Like, so if I go somewhere and, you know, I try their coffee and it's sweet, I'm not going to say, oh, I don't like this. It's
black. Right.
like,
It's just
I
not your
understand.
jam.
Exactly. And so I'll tell people, you know, like, if you like sweet coffee, then you should try this. I'm not going to tell them not to try it just because I don't like
Yeah.
it. So I always try to be objective.
If not to get off on coffee, but like if they had a place, if somewhere made a place where they would actually make coffee like the way it's supposed to be made, like coffee is supposed to actually almost be the consistency of tea.
Mhm.
And from what I understand, I'm not, this is from people I've listened to that are actual coffee experts that like went to Ethiopia where it originated there. And like, I learned all about this stuff, and they had like over 200 different like coffee plants in Ethiopia, and they only let out like so many of them. That's why, and they would come in, and that's why you have like Colombian coffee and like all these other, wherever it's at, they came and exported the plants. Excuse me. Coffee does make me a little, phlegmy, but, yeah. And they're like, it's meant to be drunk without sugar and all this other stuff. Like they have a sweetener, natural sweetener somewhere that I don't exactly remember what it is.
Stevia?
No, I don't know if it's stevia, but it's something similar. It's like it comes from like a flower, but like it's like the Ethiopians do. But they're like coffee connoisseurs over there, apparently. I don't know.
I have heard of Ethiopian coffee. I've had it before, but
It's very
there's not a lot of coffee shops here that have it.
No, because it's expensive. They don't want their they got, well, I don't know how it is now. It's probably a huge export for them now, but they were from the person that was talking about it, when people started finding Ethiopia, and then they were like, what is this drink we're drinking? Oh my God, this is great. And then, somebody labeled it coffee, and then they started trying to get the plants. They didn't want to share it with them. They're like, no. And you had to like talk to the village elder or whatever, so it was like that. But it is a lot more expensive, I think, for Ethiopian coffee. But it's very, like I bought some, and it's really good. Just to, grind the beans. But a lot of coffee shops around here, of course, you got your Starbucks, and then, where did you go? Elio's or whatever.
Yeah, Eliano's.
Yeah, there's all
they're
these
very
places popping up all over the place. But every time I go to them, they're like they over roast their beans. They think that people want like dark coffee. And I'm like, no, I don't want you to I want medium roasted beans, maybe lightly roasted beans, and I want my coffee to be kind of I want to be able to see through it.
Yeah.
But and then but people think that the darker it is, the more caffeine is going to be in it. That's not true,
Exactly.
from what I understand.
Yeah. Normally, the light roast is actually the more caffeinated.
Right, because you burn out all the caffeine or whatever. You roast out the caffeine, and then
I think it's anything above 454 or whatever. Even if you steam it, it kills that particular whatever organic material or whatever it may be.
Yeah, but it leaves all the tannins and stuff and all the crap that gives you like a real bitter taste.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why people want to put sugar in there. But I mean, like I grew up. Well, like my first sips of coffee, my granddad was like, "You want some coffee, son?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he put like that much coffee, and the rest was sugar and milk. So it was like kind of lightly brown milk, and I thought it was the shit. I was like, "Yes." But yeah, I don't know how I got on the coffee, but that's definitely no. We were talking about your palate is different than everyone else's, so I get that. So you're not gonna like start a food review blog.
No.
That's not your business.
Exactly. And plus, like, my goal is just to bring restaurants to the spotlight. Obviously, I'm not going to lie, like I'm able to understand, like, okay, there's something that is not right about this food.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to put a restaurant on blast. That's only happened, like, I could probably count on one hand how many times it was like, hey, like, something's off.
Yeah.
But that's a private conversation that I have with the restaurant, and then I either don't post the video or I don't post, if it's just one menu item, I don't post that because I don't want to lie to my audience. I want them to trust me and not think like, oh, she's just doing it like just because the restaurant told her to. I never want that. I want
you're doing
I
it
want to
ethically.
be honest.
Yeah.
Exactly. But the goal is to just spread positivity. I don't ever want to bash a business or be negative towards them.
Yeah.
Like, the goal is just to be positive and, you know, bring happiness to Jacksonville.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people think that Jacksonville's super boring.
And it's not.
There's
There's
nothing
so
to
many
do
cool
here.
things here.
Yeah. But and there's so much food. Is what I'm finding out. You know, and like just from watching you, and there's a couple other people, because like I said, I love food, and anytime I see somebody doing food stuff, I'm like, follow, you know. But yours stood out to me. But that's definitely one of the things that, like, I'm learning that Jacksonville is. I think it's because a lot of people moved here from all over the states, and they've got all these different types of foods, and just, oh my God,
it's a melting pot.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a place called the Melting Pot here too, I think. They do fondue. But, you know, that made me think about it, and I don't know how you feel about this, but, like, this is a really weird, probably off question that, you know, if you don't want to, you don't have to answer. But, like, there's this thing where, like, what do they call it? A cultural appropriation, where there's, like, you know, maybe there's like a white guy that opened a taco spot. You know, I don't know if you've ever come across anything like that or any kind of issues with that, you know, where people are like, hey, wait a minute, that's not real authentic. And you're passing it as authentic or whatever. And it's like, no, I mean, if the guy or girl, if the person that, like, really has a love for and a passion for that food, and that's what they want to make their business out of, I don't see any problems with it. Like, I don't understand where the rub is with people.
For me personally, I think that the fine line is how the restaurant advertises it. Like when it comes to tacos, for example, if someone calls it a taco place, I personally, I don't want to speak on behalf of everyone because everyone has their own opinions, but for me personally, I see it as tacos. But if someone says authentic Mexican tacos and it's not, then I'm like, okay, why couldn't you just call yourself a taco restaurant? Like, why do we? And, like, I see that a lot too when it comes to me from up north with a bunch of Italian restaurants. People say authentic Italian food, and it's like, this is Americanized Italian. So I think a lot of it really just is how people market their business and how they portray it. I think that anyone could serve any kind of food that they want to, whatever they're passionate about. It's just how are they communicating their product to the consumers. Right.
That's interesting. Yeah, so that is definitely, because you don't see, like, authentic Mexican over a Taco Bell restaurant.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like Valentina's by my house. They advertise as a Southern Italian.
Right.
It's so
well,
different.
I mean, you know, and the food is different in Italy. Like, there's Southern Italian, and there's, you know, like Northern whatever. You know, I mean, like, I knew a guy that did Southern Italian, and that was his restaurant that he did, and he was an Italian guy straight through. You know, gabagoo, you know, and just you could hardly understand what he said. Hair slicked back. He was like the quintessential Italian, you know, what you see in the movies. And you know, he opened his place across from where I used to work, and he used to work with me. And whenever he opened up his place, he was like, "Come on over." He used to send me. He's like, "Bring a container with you." I'm not going to continue to try to do the Italian accent. It's not going to happen. He would, like, bring a container with you, and I'll fill it up with my sauce, because he would, like, the way he did his sauce is, like, he had a base, and he had this giant pot that was like this big. It was like a vat. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it, but, like, it never was empty. Okay, I mean, he would, like, swap it to clean the container into a new one, but every day he would just take that and pour it into a new container, clean out the old one, and then he would just keep adding to it meat, you know, all kinds of, like, sausage and just you name it. You know, I was like, that was some of the best damn sauce I ever had in my life. I don't know if that's how they do it, But I was just like, good God, this sauce is so good. Like, and I was like literally going over there like every other day with like a new container and be like, listen, we're out. I need some of your breadsticks and I need some more sauce because we're running low, man. We're definitely fiending on that.
Here's some Italian fix right here if you like.
Oh my
Here's
goodness,
that Valentina's
so
I was talking about.
I need to give them a try.
Yeah.
Look at the oh my gosh.
Okay,
all the pastries.
Those cannolis look so good.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, my thing.
Do you like a good cannoli?
Yes. Me personally, if I see whipped cream on the plate, I'm a little upset.
Okay.
True cannolis should not have Hershey syrup or whipped cream. True cannolis, chocolate chips are fine, but
and a little powdered sugar maybe?
Yes. But the main ingredient in them, in the filling, is ricotta cheese.
Right.
So a lot of times I'll see people use other ingredients. Like I've even seen cream cheese, and I'm like, no.
That's very American.
So when I see ricotta and I don't see any Hershey syrup or whipped cream, I'm like, okay, I need to give these a try.
Right. Yeah. And these work, these photos too. I was just looking at their photography. I'm like, it might, it's like they're just using a cell phone, which is fine. If that works, use what works.
Exactly.
That looks like actually a shot picture. I mean, it could be a photo. Yeah,
their food looks so good. I need to give these people a try.
Yeah, it's a little place. It's not very big. It's right down the street here. There's another place, Aaron's on 17. I went there. I was getting my tires changed at this place called Mavis, and like within walking distance, there's this place called Aaron's Pizza. And I went over there and I got a slice of something. I don't remember. And then I got the cannolis, and they sent out 2 cannolis, and they were like huge, that big around, that long. I mean, just full of ricotta cheese. And it was just,
Did they have Hershey syrup?
No.
Then I need to try them.
Yeah, it was just powdered sugar. I mean, like, like I said, I could hear the like, it was like a mom and dad. I could hear them in the back speaking Italian to each other. So I was like, okay. And then, they had there was like this, I guess it was a granddaughter or maybe someone they hired, but, she was like seating you, doing all of it, but it was when I got in there was no one there, but those damn cannolis were so good. After the first bite, I said, I'm not going to be able to finish these. And then my brain goes, no, don't be a bitch.
I'm the same way with cannolis. They're just not the same because then the shell gets kind of soft. Mm-hmm. So like you gotta
have to eat them.
Power through and eat it.
Well, I was like, why did you give me 2 of these? Like that's for 2 people. But I ate both of them.
As you should.
I'm so hungry right now.
Yeah, you got like for real. Like my girlfriend put some stuff in the crock pot, and she's like, it'll be done about 6:30, 7 o'clock. I'm like, I'll be mid-rolling in a podcast, so we're not going to do that. I'm not going to get up and eat. But
yeah, here you go. Here, so you remember, if you ever need to look at back at the pod, there you go.
Okay. I will definitely be trying this place. I'm so excited.
He really loves them. He's been talking about it since before we started, and now he's giving them shout out to Valentina's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely be trying them. That looks really good.
Yeah.
I need to try their baked items. I'm very excited.
That place, hopefully it works out for them.
I hope so.
Because there's been like 15 different restaurants in there.
Well, they just painted it.
Did they just open?
They opened about a year ago.
About a year,
okay.
yeah.
I think John is the owner. He's a Navy vet. But yeah, they just painted it. They actually, there used to not be lines out here in the parking lot, so they put all that. They extended the parking lot out here. And
it used to be like a sports bar.
It is
and
packed
people
out
would go
the
and
ass.
watch the UFC there.
So
it's nobody cared.
Out the ass. Every day it's packed.
Yeah, no one cared at that point. They were just like, park anywhere. We're all drunk, watching UFC. I'm surprised it was not a fight out there every day. What is she doing? Oh, she's bringing people. I got you. That's not how to get me, lady. You can put cannolis out there, and then I'm going to come inside. I don't drink, but very good.
Cannolis, bruschetta, all of that.
Now, do you say, is it bruschetta or bruschetta?
I don't pronounce it.
I'm just asking how you do it. I had a guy who was an Italian guy. He used to be one of my bosses. He was like, we went to a place, an Italian place, and he was like, I'd like a plate of bruschetta, and I was like, oh, you're one of those people, you say Iran, I was like, dude, it's bruschetta, bro. I mean, you don't have to be fancy with it. You know, you order in Italian, like, I'll order for the table. Pass. You know, I like to order my own stuff. I want some spaghetti. I'm kind of a redneck, if you haven't noticed. I mean, I'm from here. I was born and raised in Jacksonville. I grew up in Mandarin my whole life. My mother still lives in the same house that I grew up in, which is hilarious. You know, but yeah, I'm a local yokel, which you would think I would know all the restaurants, but they're popping up so damn fast.
They are. I feel like every week there's like 5 new restaurants, and I can't even keep up.
I was just going to ask you, how do you keep up?
I don't. And the way that I see it is there's enough people out there to help cover the new restaurants, which is why I'm thankful that there's multiple people that do what I do, because one person can't cover all of Jacksonville.
Absolutely
there's just
not.
so many things popping up every week.
Have you had any not issues, but like you said, there's a lot of, I mean, which I know some people that do food photography and stuff like that, like, or they just started getting into it. My friend William Bell, what is his Instagram handle? I can't remember. He's been on the podcast before, but he does a lot. Have you heard of Supa Noodle?
Yes.
Oh, Improv Media. He's like in conjunction with Supa Noodle a lot. He does a lot of their like little TV spot or their little spots and stuff. You see, go back up, like he's starting to do some little food food review, or like not reviews, but like photography. Yeah. So you know, but I guess my question is, you know, have you made any friends out there that do what you do, and do you guys bounce ideas off of each other, or?
I wouldn't say like I'm like best friends with any other food photographers, but I recently met John from Curbside Agency. Mm-hmm. He is so great. I think that they do the social media.
I think he's part owner of Super
Yeah.
Noodle. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He used to own Collab.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, he owns Cafecito now.
Yeah, so we actually we got coffee a couple weeks ago, and we were just chatting and
nice.
bouncing ideas.
I love John. He's been on the podcast.
He's so sweet, and I think it's just so great to like just get to know people, and you know, like, again, like I said, there's so many restaurants in Jax. I don't ever see anyone as competition, because
no, there's too much,
and everyone has their own style. Like, I do better with like, you know, bars and like casual restaurants, and he does better with more like fine dining. So I think that there's something for everyone.
Yeah, no, 100%. I've never even thought about trying to get into that type of photography. Like I told you earlier before we started, it was just like, there's so much that goes into it. People think it's just like, well, first of all, people think photography is easy and that anybody could just do it because you're just pushing a button, right? Until you put the camera in their hands and take it off of auto. Like, try manual settings and then tell me how friggin' easy it is with the lighting situation and all this. Now you need a off-camera flash, and you know, so like all that goes into even just food photography, that just seems like it's a lot harder to me personally. After being a photographer for so long, it's like food is very finicky. If it's supposed to stand up, well, you have a certain amount of time before it starts falling, and things melt, things don't lay right, or they don't transpose properly onto film. You know, like, how do you deal with a lot of that stuff?
A lot of it, like I said earlier, is the planning. The fact that I have all the shots planned ahead of time really works. I usually also have an assistant with me whenever I do photo shoots to kind of just have that shot list in hand, make things easier. And a lot of it is just working really, really fast. I work fast. There's some food photographers that take their time, but I want things to look as fresh as possible.
Yeah.
And of course I could always ask the kitchen, like, hey, can you like go heat this up? But a lot of times restaurants will book me during their service, and I don't want to keep bugging the chef, so I try and work as fast as I can. I get sweaty, like
yeah.
So I think a lot of it is just really coming in with the game plan. And a lot of times I'll say like, okay, like items with cheese, we're gonna photograph those last, because I like to do like the flat lays with all the items,
right?
So that way they are as fresh as possible, because if we photograph the cheese items first, I know that they're going to look awful by the end, because cheese just gets that film on it after it sits out for a couple of minutes. So me having the menu ahead of time and planning the order that we're going to be photographing is like the key to a
So
successful
you
photo
have like
shoot.
kind of an idea of like certain foods that need to go first, and so when they tell you, I want this, 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 and this, you can actually plan that out because you know,
Exactly.
like you just said, the cheese grows a film on it and all that. And we were talking about some of the photography tricks earlier. Like, I know you said you don't really like to do that because you don't want to take away from the actual food that the place cooks and the way they prepare it and what they prepare it with, but some of those food photography tricks are quite interesting.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that the food photography tricks work very well for maybe like national brands, but for the small businesses, I really want to capture, because a lot of times, like small businesses, there's a story behind the food.
Right.
They're not
right.
just making food. We were talking about ice cream earlier, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on to ice cream.
Yeah.
There's this one place called Flo's Premium Ice Cream. They have a location in World Golf Village and one in Ponte Vedra.
Mhm.
The owner's so sweet. And it was like she opened it because it was like a memory, because they're from up north and they go get ice cream and they wanted to bring good ice cream to Jacksonville. And so like they put so much thought into just their flavors,
Mhm.
and like they want fun flavors, they rotate them, and everything's homemade. And it's like, sure, I could replicate it with icing, but it's not going to tell the same story
Right.
as the ice cream that she makes from scratch.
100%.
So that's also why I'm kind of against replicating, because for me, it's not just about the food, it's about the story that went into creating that food.
Right, integrity. It's like
Exactly.
I have integrity. This is the actual stuff. I've seen like billboards that should not have been up. Like there was a Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel, yeah, that is a hot topic right now.
Well, yeah, they changed their whole label, or their logo. But like before that, they had posted a picture of a plate that had turkey with gravy on it and green beans, and it looked blue. Like,
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly
It was
which
the
billboard.
worst, and I was like every day, like, please take that shit down. Like, you need to have somebody come in. It looked like, literally, it looked like somebody, like they just got the raws, like the raw image, and never got it edited, and then just said, let's go with that. But dude, it was just like, you can't, like, why are you doing that? It looks like frozen food. Like, it looks like the cover of a Hungry Man, or whatever, Swanson Sweaty Man dinner. That's what I call them. I mean, and even on those packages, the food looks better. But, I mean, it looks like the actual, I was just like, please take that down. But, yeah, Cracker Barrel, what are you doing? They changed not just their logo, but they changed the inside of their restaurants, too.
Yeah.
It looks more, to me, if you've ever been inside a Grumpy's.
I still have not been there. It's been on my list. I need to go there.
Gotta go.
It's very like Metro Diner, kind of like farm chic.
Ooh, okay.
They went from, but it used to just be like you're at your Grammy's house, like wooden furniture. It was real.
Yeah, you just had some old diner.
Kind of like this table. It was like, it had character, it felt like you were in an old like house almost. And now it's like, no, this looks like a damn restaurant, you know?
And that is something that I just miss across restaurants as a whole. Like, I was a child in the 90s, like, when everything was bright and colorful, and, like, even, like, Taco Bell, McDonald's had those cute, like, character chairs.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
like, everything's all just corporate looking now.
Yeah, so
And
bland.
I miss when restaurants had character to them.
I was talking to my friend Jay. He's the guy I was telling about. He works out like a crazy person, probably 3 times a day, and he can just eat whatever he wants. Although he only eats once a day, but he does indulge in a lot of Little Debbie's and junk food. Love you, Jay. Hey, what the hell? Where was I going with that? Oh, we were talking about Pizza Hut. And I don't know if you remember Pizza Hut back in the day when you could actually go in and sit down and like order they had their counters were super high, and they had like this rounded glass over them, and it was just weird. Like, it was a weird sensation to be in there, but once you were in there, it was like, this is family time with them red cups, them red plastic cups.
Cece's Pizza as well.
It's kind of, but it's not it's like Pizza Hut had a vibe. And, they had those tabletop video games that you could play. And it was just like, I missed that.
Me too.
I think there's like one left somewhere. I don't know. I think it's off of Normandy or something like that is what he said. But like, eventually I'm going to go pull everybody and we're going to go there and like just go eat there.
Yeah.
Just for old time's sake, because it's like Blockbuster Video and all that shit, it's just like people are very into nostalgia these days because, and I wonder, I mean, I know why, but like people wonder why. They're like, why is it that everybody's into nostalgia and nostalgic things? Well, I'm not saying it was the best time in the world, but like for us being kids, it was the best time being a kid. Like being a kid in the 80s was awesome. I don't know. For me, it was,
I feel like even food is different nowadays. Like, this is super embarrassing to admit, but I had like an entire meltdown a couple days ago because did y'all ever have the Friendly's watermelon roll? They sold them at grocery stores. Okay, you got to look this one up. You got to pull this
Friendly's
one up.
Friendly's watermelon roll?
Watermelon, WATTA.
Like
watermelon. Maybe it was just a northern thing, but this was like a staple in my household during the summer.
I think she said Friendly's.
Yeah, Friendly's, like the restaurant.
Lay off the pipe, dude.
So they had like an ice cream line in grocery stores.
There it is.
There it is. That's it. Yeah, it was so good. So like it had like chocolate chips. It was sherbet. You slice it like a watermelon.
Oh, I remember these. I never had them, but
Oh my goodness, it was a staple every single summer.
There you go.
Like
Yep, I
you
remember
go
those.
swimming in the pool, you come out and that's your little snack.
I do remember those.
Yeah, so they came out with that cake, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like their replacement for it. They don't sell it anywhere in Florida. I may have spent a couple hours searching every possible zip code on the Friendly's website.
What?
Don't know. Maybe it's just up north. Maybe they're not selling it anymore. But like, yeah, their comeback was that cake. But I saw on
not
TikTok.
the same.
Yeah, people on TikTok said it's not the same.
Yeah.
And
it's like the Choco Taco.
Yeah.
Can't get that anywhere.
Yeah, and I've been messaging Friendly's on TikTok.
Have you
asking-
really?
Yeah, and they haven't responded. But
Did they have a website you could go and hit I mean, I know you probably done that too. Emailed their corporate.
no, I really should. But
You should.
I know a lot of people have been wanting it to come back, which is, I think that's what told them to do that cake, because a lot of people have been asking for this particular item. And
I wonder if it's just like it was like a smaller business and they maybe like went out of business or
well,
something.
I know Friendly's, they were very big up north. They still have a location in Orlando. I don't know if they have any others in Florida, but it was a big place to go up north. And like the whole thing is like, it's family friendly. Like they have like really cheap ice cream for kids, and like all their ice cream sundaes are all cute.
Yeah, but back then when like you said, you're having a pool day, you're doing stuff, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's cold, you're like, oh yeah, give it to me. Like those damn ice pops, what are the freeze pops, those little freeze. I will just destroy those things.
Yeah.
But like I remember being a kid and they would like the ice cream man would come around. Now it's like a food truck you gotta go to.
It's
you have
not
to like
the same.
you have to go to them like. Come on, you can drive through our neighborhood, but like here, it's all old people. There's not a lot of kids that live here. Like when like Halloween, I don't even buy candy anymore. My first year here, when I moved in here, I went and I spent it was like almost $100 on candy, and I had like 3 giant bowls full of candy, and I was like, I had my little costume on, I was ready to be like, I was just waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally about 10 o'clock, I was like, fuck it, there's nobody coming,
Yeah.
I was really bummed out because Halloween is like my favorite holiday or time of year.
Yeah, and as an adult now, it's like we get our excitement by handing out the candy to the
Yeah,
trick-or-treaters. And
yeah.
if there's no trick-or-treaters, it's like, man.
Like, how am I going to get rid of all these razors? God. Sorry, that was a bad joke.
It was very dark.
Like, there was stories back in the day, of kids getting, like, they would, like, the people were just assholes, and they would, like, heat up pennies in a pot, and they would just dump them out. So if you see somebody come to the door with mitts on and a pot, run. Just run.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but
That's
I do
crazy.
remember,
There were stories of that when I was a kid.
I
yeah.
do remember the warnings for parents to check their kids' candy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know if that was a real. I think that was just parents' way of getting the best candy first.
I usually check for Reese's.
Probably.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if my kids are grown now, so it's like, damn, I really can't, and her daughter is like, she's, what is she, 15? Good Lord. But yeah, so it's like too cool for school. I trick-or-treated until I was like 17, 18.
Really?
Oh, yeah, man. I loved it.
I love that.
Yeah, I've told you I'm a nerd, and I had like a couple of buddies growing up. I didn't have a lot of friends, and we were all dorks. And everyone in the neighborhood knew us. And, you know, it's like almost like if I see an 18-year-old kid come to my door with a bag talking about trick-or-treat, I'm going to give them candy.
Yeah.
Because they could be out doing so many other things worse. If they're out being kids, I'm like down for that. Do it. Dress up. Hang out. You know, let's go get some candy. Whatever. I think that's awesome, wholesome type of thing.
Oh, yeah,
to do.
definitely. Like, hang on to your childhood for as long as you can.
As
Because
long-
once you grow up, that's it.
Is it
Bye-bye.
frowned upon if you do that when you're 28? I'm just asking for a friend.
Yeah. Well, if you shaved, you
Yeah.
could probably
Well,
pass
just put a
for a
mask on or
teenager.
something.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
You could pass for a teenager
I
with
mean-
a mask on.
When I had kids, you know, and it transferred from me wanting to go trick or treating to like taking them trick or treating, and I love the pageantry of like dressing up, and I every year I would dress up with them, you know, and you know, like my favorite, of course, I spent a lot of money on a Michael Myers mask and like the overalls and stuff. That was the best, and I had so much fun scaring the kids. You know, like I would stand upstairs in the window and just like wait for them to see me and not move. And that was like, that shit was so fun. I don't know. Like I said, do you have kids?
No.
Are you going to, I mean, like, you don't have to tell me that, but like,
We're
some
still
people
young. We got
yeah,
time,
you are.
but-
You are. A lot of, well, I mean, I think right now a lot of younger people are focused on their careers. They're focused on this. They're focused on
That's
that.
exactly it. Yeah, we're
So
trying
it's
to
like-
get a little bit more established, but then we will.
Well, life finds a way.
Exactly.
But you want to have kids, yeah?
Eventually.
Yeah.
I think my husband and I would be pretty cool parents.
Yeah. Sounds like it. They'd eat good.
Yeah, exactly. But it's going to be expensive taking them out, though. They're going to have the most refined palates
Listen,
ever.
yeah, they're gonna have to start working on camera, right? Like they can be the faces in your videos for the eating, like, hey, or hold this camera. You know, just put GoPros on their foreheads. You get some new camera angles.
Exactly.
Anyhow, well, I don't want to keep you. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about your business or what have you that we can, you know, alert the people to?
Oh my goodness.
Anything at all,
I feel like
The
we've
floor is
covered
yours.
pretty much everything.
and then some.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have ADHD bad, probably undiagnosed, and I do tend to go off on tangents about nonsense.
Oh no, I'm the same way. I'm like, wait, we're going off on tangents again. I need to stop doing that. But
No, you're welcome to do that here for sure.
I'm
But
just
yeah.
surprised you didn't bring up the cat turd coffee.
Oh, the Copy Luwak?
Yeah.
the what?
It's a civet. It's not a cat. It's I don't know
Whatever
where
it is.
I don't know where it's at, but there's an animal called a civet, and they eat coffee beans and they poop them out, and the people will go and harvest the pooped out coffee beans, and something about their stomach, the acidity in their stomach or something does something to the coffee beans. It's probably bullshit, but and then they clean them, of course, and then they roast them, and then apparently it's like, oh my god, civet coffee, the Copy Luwak. I think it's called Copy Luwak or something like that, but it's apparently it's like so good, but it's like
Catch you.
you're eating fucking civet shit. You know, like what are you doing? I mean, but they clean it off, you know, so it's not like it's, I don't know what it does. You'd have to look up what it actually does, but
Toxoplasmosis coffee.
I don't know if I would try that. I'm pretty adventurous. That is something else.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you can tell me it's safe until you're blue in the face, but like, I don't know, man. There's a reason it's rare. You know,
yeah, like how big is the demand for them to keep making this?
right. Oh, they're going to keep making it. Apparently, like, it was something that was like in the village. It's some place that's like, you know, not widely known or traveled to, I guess. I don't know. But that's something that they discovered. And how do you figure that out? Who is the creep
Indonesia.
that figured it out? Not calling you guys creeps in Indonesia,
I
but
thought
like,
that was Steven, something else.
no, those are coffee beans.
Copy Luwak?
Yeah, I said it
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Copy Luwak. There's the civet. So they feed them the coffee beans.
And they just hold a cup out waiting.
Yeah, they poop them out.
Oh my God.
Oh, look, it looks like a little bit. Thanks for that.
That's not for me.
You
but
learned
if anyone wants to try it,
You
I'm
learned
not gonna,
something new.
Not gonna judge, but
That's
I don't think
crazy.
I'll
Looks
ever
like a
try
payday.
that.
Looks like a granola bar. That's what I'm saying. All right,
$109. Look at that.
For how big is the bag?
Coffee Luwak beans on Amazon, bro.
Doesn't look but like maybe a pound of coffee.
That's what it looks like. That must be the authentic shit. No pun intended.
Doesn't say how big.
Oh.
$31 an ounce.
Good gravy.
Jesus.
Yeah, no thanks.
That's
So 3 ounces of coffee for
100 Wow.
Coffee Luwak. Yeah,
Yeah, no sir.
that is crazy.
I'm a look.
Wait, they
You know
follow
on
Burger
Amazon
around
when it
too?
says see available options, that means it's way too much.
Yeah. That's
I also think it's one of those things people are probably just like paying for it just to say that they had it.
Right. Yeah, it's a gimmick. If I was like a coffee critic or something like that, I would probably have to try it just to say I've drinking the shit coffee. You know, but like it's not something I would readily available or, you know, jump in line to drink.
That's
I don't
crazy.
think any of our local coffee shops around here serve that.
Yeah, I don't.
I would
don't
surely
think
hope
so.
they don't.
Yeah.
Look like a light roast. Sorry to throw a wrench in your.
Yeah, well, this
ADHD.
conversation took a shitty turn, fella. Pun intended.
But yeah, I feel like we have covered so much. I really can't
Yeah.
think of anything else.
Well, now, you know, that's my goal is that people, you know, that follow you, now they understand you a little bit more. They know inside your brain a little bit more and what it is all that you actually do. And, you know, if you're out there and you follow her, now you know a little bit more about Miss Alexa. And this podcast, just FYI, is going to set everybody's Alexas off like every 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we don't own one of those. We are a Google Home household for that reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
I know
it.
you could change the names, but it's just
Yeah, no, that would probably get annoying.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't stand her voice. But so if you're not following her, go do it now. If you would, please, in your own words, give your social medias and anywhere else, if you emails, websites, whatever,
Yeah, sure.
how
So-
businesses can get a hold of you.
Yeah, absolutely. So my Instagram, my TikTok is Alexa's Food Tales, like my food tales.
It's on the screen.
Yes, on the screen. And then my website is alexarobertsphotography.com. That's pretty much for all the photography inquiries. Social media, I'm actually not taking any more clients, but if you do need social media eventually, I do have a wait list if you want to join that. But I still am doing photo shoots and then videos for restaurants. I also do professional video. I don't show a lot of that on my Instagram. Most of it is on my clients' pages. But yeah, I do any kind of content around food. I do it. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Alexa, thank you so much for coming on and
thank
hanging
you
out
for
with us.
having me.
And I look forward to taking you up on some of your food content and going here, and here. I've got many ideas now for where I need to go and eat.
Yeah, I can't wait to
For
hear
sure,
your
I'm
thoughts.
going to Mama's for sure
Oh,
to
yeah.
get some of that deep dish.
Oh
I've
my
been
gosh, yes.
dying for deep dish.
You're gonna love theirs.
I was about to say F yeah, but I'm going to try to keep it, you know, she's a nice lady. I want to keep it nice. So, guys, after you get done following her on all those social media pages, go and follow us. And you're watching here on YouTube. If you're not subscribed already, you're missing out, man. I'm bringing you all these people that are doing really cool things here in Jacksonville. So, you know, give us a subscribe, share some of our content if you love it, and leave some comments and all that good stuff. Instagram, Graybeard Podcast. TikTok is Graybeard Productions. We do all kinds of stuff. So subscribe, hit the little bell. That way whenever we upload anything or go live, you'll be notified right away. All right. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.